Hi everyone, my name is Melinda.
I'm Madeline.
I'm Moya.
I'm Damaris.
And welcome to our end of year / season wrap up and review, where we, like I said, wrap up the year and kind of reflect on everything that's happened this season in season 3 of A Rose in Bloom. So let's get into it. Welcome to A Rose in Bloom, everyone. Even though you guys have always been here.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are missing one person. I will say that Jennifer is not here, but with us in spirit. But this is the Rose in Bloom team for the most part. So let's go around and do some team introductions and the roles that you play here with the podcast.
I'll start with
We
me.
can start with you.
Hey guys, my name is Madeline. I am the RIB executive producer and video editor. And when I came on board,
Yes.
literally when this started 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been here from the beginning. So yeah, I'll be rocking it. 2
Okay.
years now.
2 years, period.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, my name's Moya. I am head of media and design, and also like Maddie, I was here from the beginning. I think Belinda reached out 2021 or 2022, and been here since, rocking, growing, all of that, and it's been a fun time.
OGs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've technically been an OG,
Yes.
but
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Damaris, and I'm the Director of Programs and Operations. And I helped out with Abide last year, but officially came on board earlier this year in 2024.
yes. Okay, so let's get into our little review. I will field questions as we go. And anybody can answer. It doesn't have to be all of us answering a question. But what has been the most rewarding part of working on A Rose in Bloom this year?
I feel like there's too many.
No?
There's a lot. I feel like just getting out an episode is rewarding
No.
because I think
There are factors.
because the process
not
getting
a
an
strict
episode
rule.
every time we can out and it's actually you can see it and there's audio to it. It's rewarding.
Yes.
But I have to say, like, we only go up, we never go backwards.
Glory be to God.
So I think that's the most rewarding part. And then also seeing like the impact it has, not for like our viewers, but for each other. I think we've grown closer. I think we've also grown in like the specialties that we're in.
Yeah.
So I think that's rewarding, especially when we're like 2 seasons ago. So
Yeah.
so just that's rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say for me, what's been rewarding is just being able to hang out with y'all. Yeah. That was happy.
So cute.
No, but especially when I went like to school and everything, I always look forward to like film days, just because it's like a chance for us to link up again.
Yeah.
And being in the studio, I actually really enjoy like film days, like especially now that we have a good routine,
Down.
a good setup. We know what we're doing when we come in here.
Yeah.
I definitely just what's rewarding is being able to also learn from everyone. Of course, we'll talk about it more within this episode.
Right.
But definitely just being able to have fun on studio days and be able to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
Aww.
And also, I think this is like the most we've seen you
Yeah.
in the almost 2 years, right?
Because
Because
I'm not a
fair.
Nova resident. So
Yeah. But even like season 1 and season 2, like
yeah.
the first time
true.
people saw you was our end of review last year.
Oh yeah.
So true.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
So like you've been around.
Yeah, yeah, I've been working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've been here.
Literally.
You know, I definitely enjoy it
Yeah.
for sure.
Anyone else?
I'd say the growth has been rewarding.
Yeah.
As someone who, like, I've been here since the beginning, but not like here since the beginning, watching you guys grow, I'm like, wow. Like, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Okay, yeah.
Hallelujah.
the
price was
elevation.
paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each season has just gotten better and better and better, and it just makes me excited for like what's to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Most rewarding part of working on A Rose in Bloom this year, honestly, just like the growth, like everyone's been saying. I think this year blew my mind in regards to like what God said He was gonna do. Because like when, especially with like the concept of like really focusing on creatives and like looking at how God has given us women the ability to create like Him. Like when that concept came around in like July of 2023, I was like, all right, cool. Like this is great. Like this is fine. You know, I know Him as creator, but like I guess this is like let's like deep dive into this a little bit more. But all the things that came out of it, the people, the
Oh, for
connections, like the
For sure.
women, like
For sure.
I've been like, oh, truly exceedingly and abundantly. That's
No,
my
yeah.
God. Because what?
For real.
It's mind blowing.
Expectations definitely were blown.
Surpassed.
Bro, yeah, literally.
And it's also like seeing the reception of episodes as well.
Oh, man.
Because like that also has been a rewarding part.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're in the studio and like we're cooking it up. We're like, dang, this is a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then putting it out and then also seeing people are like, yeah, like are receiving it how we intended it
Yeah.
to be received.
Right, right.
Because you can put something out and you're just like, I hope y'all enjoy it.
I hope it makes
I hope it blesses me like it blessed me.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
seeing it actually bless people and people are talking about feedback
Yeah.
and like, oh, this episode helped them in this way and stuff like that has
Yeah.
also been rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And then on an analytical side, we've also gone up to numbers and stuff, which is also great to
Yeah.
see.
Oh my
So thank you for
gosh.
that.
Yes.
Yes,
Like, thank
Thank
y'all
you.
so much for rocking with us.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. Moving on to the next question. Looking back at this season, season 3, what episode or moment stands out to you most? Question mark and why?
Right, she's already laughing, so
Just
just
let her go ahead.
do it,
got something to
Damaris.
say.
I'm gonna come for Maddie real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, it wasn't your fault.
Per se,
You're
but-
right.
It wasn't.
People need to take care of their things.
Yeah, so, you
Never
know,
tell the story before.
Our executive producer over here, cute shoes, very, very nice looking shoes, but they tracked some poop into this space. And I was like, I came in, I was like, something is smelling, but like, I'm not, maybe it's just me, you know? And I was like, no, like something is really stinking in this place. Like, something smells.
Meanwhile, I wasn't here.
No,
And
she
Mo wasn't either.
No.
And later on, like a few minutes have gone by, Maddie's like smelling. She's like, I smell it too, but I'm like, she's sniffing the wires. Like,
The wires is crazy. I did not know that.
yeah, because sometimes those things can have smells, like
Yeah.
the plastic and being in the bag. And
Okay, well.
and then we come to find
what else could have? Okay.
we come to find out that dog poop had gotten on her shoe and
Yup.
it tracked into the space, and that is the scent that we were smelling. So we went and got candles. We cleaned it up real nice and had to make it welcoming because we had guests coming, and we didn't want them smelling that. So that was
Right.
definitely a moment.
It sure was. And we stained the carpet too.
Yeah.
Or this
Oh,
carpet.
well.
Actually,
Oh,
Hey,
hey.
camera.
Yeah.
Oh, we cleaned up.
We cleaned it. We cleaned it.
It passed.
It passed.
We did anything about it. We did our job.
Literally.
It's okay.
That's
That's
good.
creepy.
He's still cleaning anyway. No, just playing.
hey, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's okay.
Don't worry.
No, that was definitely memorable. I was stressed that day, man.
She was.
Because we had to clean, like
Actually
clean and set up
yeah.
at the same time. And that was Sade's, right?
That was Sade and
Sade
Dorian Morgan.
and yeah.
And those were
Dorian
some of
Morgan.
like our bigger like
Guess.
Yeah.
influencer guests.
But we got it done.
We
That
did.
part.
We did.
Yeah.
And it was a really good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
impactful day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Taylor.
And even yeah, Taylor for
Yeah.
real. And even and I guess this will go into like my moment that stands out. So Mo is in medical school. Thank you, Jesus, our doctor. And
Soon,
so
please,
she
please.
wasn't.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Doctor student.
Doctor student. Can I give you
Relax.
enemies medical
Relax.
advice?
Yeah.
So that was our first day back in the studio after our summer break, and Mo wasn't able to make it. And so we had Jennifer, who you guys have seen She was in season 2 and at the beginning of season 3. I knew that she was a creative in her own way. She has her YouTube channel, Instagram, everything. And I was like, hey, like, can you just like come and basically do what Mo does so that we can get like BTS and stuff like that? Because like Maddie was saying, that was one of our bigger like guests in regards to their influence and whatnot. And Jennifer came and like did the day. And at the end, she was like, yeah, I want to join the team. And I was like, what? Like, not because like she's bad or anything, but I was like, okay. And she just spoke to the fact that prior to this, we were only posting like 2 clips a week because of our capacity.
For sure.
Right? And she was like, you guys have so much content here. And the problem with most people is that they don't have enough content. So that's why they post limited or at a limited capacity. But we had the contact. We had the content.
Yeah.
We had the capability. We didn't have the capability to, but we had all the things to grow the page. And she was like, I want to help you guys do that with the YouTube and whatnot. And so at first I was like, oh, okay, like there's a lot of passion, but like maybe it's just like day of.
You're right.
But she was serious about it. And you truly see the testament to like her addition to the team.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Our YouTube, we were at like
Yeah.
60 something, I think.
Yeah.
Last I checked, we were at 121, but it might be more subscribers,
Yeah.
right? Because she's been putting in the work and growing the YouTube
Yeah.
clips and whatnot alongside Maddie. Like, just we post every day now, except the weekends, you know, and that's also impacted the growth and things of that nature. So I think that was probably one of the best moments because it's like, we know what we're doing here and it's like great. We see it in the studio and hoping that it translates across the board to like people who are watching. But to have someone be here in the studio and it impact her so much so that she wanted to join in on the vision and the mission that God's given us, it was like, wow, God,
Yeah.
like, thank you so much. But yeah, that's my most impactful moment.
No, that was refreshing. I think for everybody because it's a long year,
Yeah.
right? And
Truly.
she had this passion and capacity that kind of just gave us all like, oh yeah, okay, get a second wind to like keep going forward and grow in that. But that's so true.
Yeah.
And I was going back to the doggy poopy day, and so I think my favorite moment was, and I mentioned Taylor, who is our video PA, but after Sade's episode, we were able to pray for her, and I think it impacted her so much that she was brought to tears. She was emotional, and I was like, that's the kind of stuff that we like hope for in terms of impacting people. Like we're in space together, and especially Sade is just obviously has a discernment, and her ears are open to the Lord. That everything that she said that day was for Taylor.
Yeah.
And us knowing her personally was like, yeah, that was for her. And it was great to witness. And Taylor doesn't come often, but like it was just ordained that way. And so moments like that in this studio where I'm like, I live for that. Because it was past the episode. It was like in this very moment something changed here. So that was cool to witness. I think that was one of my fave moments actually.
Yeah.
This year.
I'm like sitting here, I'm like, dang, I missed out on the good studio day. Man, let's pray against sicknesses. Not keep me from being able to be in the studio again. I would say my favorite moment this season was, I guess this is more like an episode, like a specific part. And something that stuck with me since was, I think it was Zipporah's episode where she said like the presence of fear doesn't mean the absence of your gifts. And that's been a word that has like, since I heard it, has been like something that hasn't left me since. I was talking to Maddie yesterday and I was like, certain words like you hear and it's like you can't forget it. And it's like sometimes you want to forget it. Like maybe something goes on and you're like, man, I don't want to remember that. Like I know I'm gifted and I know I'm a little afraid, nervous, whatever, but let me just be nervous and not do it. But her like that word definitely, I would say this kind of like has helped me throughout this entire year.
Oh, glory be to God.
Yeah, for sure. Just because I think also it's something that I needed to have heard at that moment because of like schools coming up. I'm literally starting a whole new journey.
Yeah.
And with that comes fear and nervousness because you're not sure what things are going to entail. And then also like doubt, like, oh, is this what I actually am called to do, you know, and go back to school and stuff like that. So yeah, that definitely was a moment this season that ever since I heard it, I was like, yeah, God was speaking to me in that regard.
I love it.
Yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I can move on.
Sure.
Yeah. Was there a guest or topic that surprised you or challenged you in unexpected ways? I think Myra K.
Yeah.
Not to be dramatic, but like changed my life. So I've known of Myra because of different connections that we have in the Ghanaian community. And Chris and Theo, you guys know them. They got married last year. And I had like I was saying, I knew that I wanted this season to be about creatives. And I was like, okay, well, I know Myra. So like, let me see if I can talk to her and stuff like that. And bear in mind, at that point in time, I was not confident in who I was per se and a Rose and Bloom, if I'll be honest, right? I was like, we're a small little podcast. Like, she has a big following, very influential. Like, she's an influencer, okay? And I was like, truly, who am I? Not in the best way. And so even going to speak to her at the wedding, luckily Maddie was at the wedding with me, and she was like, just go talk to her. And I was like, okay. So I did, and she was like, yeah, like, all on board.
Easy.
And then talking to her in like January and like kind of getting the episode down, I just made an assumption that people in the creative space were like, I'm trying to like say a good word. Not bratty, but like they just stuck up. Stuck up is the word. I thought
okay.
that prideful, like there was no humility, that they would think that they are better than everybody else, you know, vain and all the things. And so Myra just showed me that everybody's human. And yes, there are like creatives, influencers who are like that, very prideful and whatnot, but Myra showed me that not everybody is. Like, Myra is the definition of humility in that space, right? Yeah. And she really gave me the confidence to even start reaching out to people. Honestly, if Myra K was not the person that she is in Christ, I don't even know if I would have had the confidence to reach out to Sade, right? For now, Sade to, like, basically, like, be mentoring me and being my girl. Yeah. To reach out to people like Dorian and Morgan, because they also have a big following, right? Even Jasmine. Jasmine goes to my church.
Yeah.
Okay, it was my church. And I was shaking in my boots to speak to her, right? But because Myra was so humble and truly comes at her creativity from a place of, this is a gift that God has given me. I'm going to use it to glorify him, and I'm not going to look down on anybody. Like, that really changed the game for me. And of course, we're in this space now, and there's a double down on like everybody's literally a human, and we're doing this because God's called us to, and we pull from him. It's like not scary or anything anymore, but like that, Myra herself was really like a eye opener. I feel like God was saying that, like, number one, you can do this, but also like not everybody is who you think they are. Like, there are people who are actually for me and walk in that way. You know? So, yeah. Shout out to you, Myra. Love you, girl. For real.
Yeah, this question is hard. There were a lot of episodes. I think Jasmine K's and even the episode with Arnell today was great too. It hasn't come out yet, but that'll be great. I heard it live. Stay tuned.
Yes.
But I think Sade's episode, because she just broke down, and I think at the time, still navigating through like relationships and dating, and she was just an inspiration for the sake of the walk this contentment walk that she was in, and it was very admirable. And I was like, this is where I want to be. That whatever God brings me in the manner that He does, like I'm good either way. And then also just who she was. She's multifaceted. She's
Oh my gosh.
able to do everything and anything, and she's grown, right?
Yeah.
And I also look forward to like women that are just older than us. That it just helps with keep walking, like
Literally.
just
Yeah.
keep walking. And so, like listening to her story, listening to her obedience, and also like at the time too. She was also expressing how like not everything is even easy in this moment. Like when we did the podcast, she still came from New York with life still going on for her, and was able to give us a word and encouragement that like was like, oh my gosh,
Bruh.
she just had poetry and lines that I'm like, especially the singleness and the contentment line. I was like, yeah, you gotta stop telling people that just to be content. She's like, know the Lord. Get close so that becomes a result. And I was like, thank you for saying that. So yeah, I just needed to hear that at the time. But I really liked that episode a lot. I did.
I'm just thinking about all the drama that was surrounding Sade's episode.
Yeah.
Oh man. Y'all was almost done for Rose and Bloom.
Yeah.
I was
But God came through.
and
He
did in the
He still does.
best way.
Yeah.
In the best way, man.
Yeah.
Anywho. Anyone else?
I would say both Sade and Miata's episode. I feel like they, for me, where I am in my life right now, just like hearing people's journeys and understanding like where they started, and then not that it's where they've ended, like there's still people that are growing, but I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that like where I am right now, next year could be a completely different place.
Yeah.
And like understanding that I have to continue to look to God in those moments and trust that like He will get me through.
Yeah.
And so those were moments where I was like, hands up, like sitting back there, like, thank you, Lord.
Listen.
And just being ministered to, like, that's one of my favorite things about being able to like sit and watch these episodes be recorded. Is just like, they're just talking, but like, you don't know the inner work that like is being done in you, just being in the room. So.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
For sure. For sure. I'm going to move on to next questions. What was the most challenging moment and how did the team navigate it?
I feel like we're all thinking the same thing.
I feel like
Maddie, why don't you start from a production standpoint?
Oh,
I think just the first filming day of this the first filming day of this year.
Trauma.
When you talking about reward, I know we mentioned it, but like that day we filmed, cameras were shutting off, using these nice fancy cameras that you guys are watching this through right now, not knowing that the capacity of storage, like I
Because of the
was
settings.
learning on the day
Because of
of
the settings.
filming because of the settings, because
When you're trying to like, I don't know what happened. I don't want to say it was like shooting in like really, really.
She was shooting
shit,
4K.
4K.
Yeah.
On memory cards, they don't have space.
Yeah.
And so
Didn't have the
we have
capacity.
this nice episode.
Literally.
They were like, "Please stop." And I was like, no, we can't stop because we're trying to elevate this season. This thing shut off at 9 minutes and we have an hour episode. And I'll never forget. Yeah, and it was
Arnell's
Arnell,
behind the camera right now. and she
our
was
director
there. Yes.
for this recap. Man.
man.
And I remember like going through them like I said, Belinda, we cannot come out right now. We cannot start the season looking
Bruh.
like this. Because it was chopped up. It was
The hairbrush.
the hair. Oh.
the hairbrush.
To this day, I literally inspect the couch like just every week before we start shooting because that hairbrush will haunt me forever.
No.
Well, you need to explain the story.
Okay, so
What's the
basically,
hairbrush?
yeah, y'all don't know that because the footage is not.
Never saw the light of day.
Never saw the light of day. That footage is gonna be in the archives for a while. So basically, I don't know. I think it was a solo episode that Belinda was filming. I want to say it was the first episode. Yeah, just explaining the season, and literally go through the entire episode. I'm looking hair, face, clothes, like everything's fine. So like, okay, we're shooting, we're good, and then, I think there's a song that's like this creepy nagging voice.
All of a
That
sudden.
was yeah. All of a sudden, I saw a hairbrush.
bright
I'm like,
pink.
hold on, that wasn't there the whole time, was it? Come to find out, it was.
To find out.
It was there.
small
And so basically, we shot the entire episode with a pink hairbrush right next to Belinda,
Yeah.
Brian had to reshoot.
and it was visible. Like it wasn't that
It wasn't hiding.
Patty could edit. There's no AI that could. There was nothing that could have fixed it.
Oh.
It was gonna show up in the
Yo.
clip.
Man.
And I went, yeah, like you said, it was the first episode. So that was just, again, that day, we learned a lot.
Bro, and it's like we really tried.
Oh.
Is what like made
Which
me
did you
upset.
try?
Because
Be on time, yeah.
like we
Oh.
were like, okay, it's gonna be our first time in the studio. Because for those of y'all that remember, like we were recording an in-home studio. This year we're like studio, right? So what does that mean? There's money that's going into this, right?
Yes.
Resources and things of that nature, people's time, and it's cold. It's like, oh my gosh,
It was
it's
snowing. I want to
February.
say
Yes,
Snowing.
it snowed the day before, or like that
a
week.
few days before.
Yes.
So there was snow. It was icy. It was cold. We're here in the studio
Yes.
till like 3
3
a.m.
a.m. Yeah.
And we spent time before the day, like before that day, in the studio trying to figure out what was going on.
So-
And then people came. A lot of people came to watch.
and it's like
Everybody was here.
it was like it was just so like when I say it felt like the weapons were prospering that day, and I just remember feeling not even like defeated per se. I was just pissed. Like,
too.
and excuse my language. I know that's a bad word for some people, but like I was like.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that the cameras keep shutting off. There's no way. I mean, and I guess it's like my fault. Like, people shouldn't have been in the studio. Like, it should have been like a closed set, right? It's our first time. And I also felt like a really bad leader in the moment too. Like, I was like, and I'm, well, back then, still living now, because I tend to just like get upset really quickly. I was like, are you being snarky? Like, you're probably like just being rude to people. I just felt like, I was like, everything is, and I remember Damaris, and I don't think you were on the team at that point. I think I just remember asking you to come.
Yeah.
Glory be to God. She was getting me
for a
right in that
reason.
bathroom. She was like, breathe, just get through the episode. You can talk about this later. Da-da-da. And I was just like, we're really trying to do this right. Increase our aesthetic, everything. We got the cameras. Like,
Nice
it was
setup.
like setting up the night before. Now, granted, we're in a nice hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was really trying to
setup.
beat people. We was trying to beat, and
We was trying to level up.
bro, I'm saying going to sleep at 3 a.m. and waking
Yeah.
up at like 6 to get here at like 7, 8. And it's like, why did we even
Why
think
did we
about
start
starting
that
that early?
Who was forcing us?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Lessons learned, though.
Lessons
Yeah,
learned, because
surely
here we
would.
are now. Literally after that time, we were like, never again.
Oh no.
We are on, A game. And then ever since then, I mean, it hasn't happened. And even now, we've gotten our routine together. Like, we know what time things are
Yeah.
recorded. Like, we set up nice, everything. So, but that was very challenging.
And also like we did support each other even though, like you were saying, like I as a producer, because not they cannot help me.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know
They
what
can
to do.
help to a certain
Camera.
extent.
I'm like,
So I was like,
I don't even know how to do that.
she felt like a way, and I was like, I certainly feel like a way because I don't know what's going on.
Bro.
I'm supposed to know what's going on. But even after that, even like the extra people that were in the room were even affirming the fact like it's okay,
Yeah.
right? I think that was enough sometimes because just in moments like that when it's kind of scrambly and you're trying to figure out but also keep something moving, it's like, okay, well, I need a solution now, but it's not happening at this time.
Yeah.
And it's okay was like, take your time,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and it
Yeah.
didn't happen.
I
So,
didn't.
which was probably for the best because look, I mean, look where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the grace of the people that like came that day, Arnell
Yeah.
and Zipporah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was like having to tell them we had to reshoot everything was like, I mean, on my end, I was like, this is embarrassing. But it's also like they had so much grace for us,
They did.
right?
They did.
And they came back in
Yeah.
March, and we reshot, and I think they were like even way better than what we shot in February, right? And that's also
Yeah.
to God's grace and mercy for us. Like it worked out for the better.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that day was rough.
Never again.
Rough. Well, on a positive note, what was one of the best moments for us this year, on or off the mic? Not no good moments.
No, there were good moments. There's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
You gotta give me a moment to ponder.
Yeah.
To ponder, yes.
We're live.
I'm pondering.
We like. Man. Okay, I like our dance video that we did.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
KT.
yeah.
That was
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite moment
That was
because
fun.
that was after a day when these people were tired and they didn't want to do my idea, but I made them do it anyway,
glad
and
you're
it
talking
was a
about
success.
dance.
I was like, what?
I think we even shot like 3 episodes or something. Like we
That
shot
day?
more
4.
episodes.
I think it was
4.
4.
That was
Yeah.
4.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never again.
Yeah.
Good.
3 max.
Oh, we can't do the dance video again.
What?
No,
she's
no,
saying
no, I'm saying
recording
never-
on an episode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh,
We
dang.
gotta do the
She
dance
got me.
video again.
She got me. She was trying to trick me.
No,
Guess we're
that,
doing the dance video.
no, that video was fun because it ended up really great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad we could do that.
Screaming.
I would say abide.
Oh.
Like seeing it all come together.
Yeah.
And that was like the day of rest for creatives, right? And just like leading up to it, I love process and just like watching all things come together and then actually like watching the creatives be here and like go like they all walked away like this was so needed. Like they all needed it. And I was like, wow, like this meant something. You know, sometimes you just do events, it's like, oh, okay, on to the next one, right? But like that one, having them all be like, no, I really needed this moment to sit here, pause, like hear the message that you gave.
Right.
And then also walk away with something like tangible, right? Like the little art that they created. So
Yeah.
that was a really good moment.
And that came together so well.
It looked beautiful.
It
Like,
yeah, it did.
It
Like a
was
really
so
good
like
event.
Couldn't make it.
like when I say chill. Well, you had other things in addition to your family.
Still sick. Yeah.
It like no, like it like came together very beautifully, very smooth. Yeah, and I was like, oh well, God, thank you for having your hand in this because this was like not on the fly. I think I had the idea for some time,
Yeah.
but it was good. Shout out to you.
Yes.
What is it? DPO.
DPO.
Director of Program
Operation.
Thank you, Jesus.
Program and Operations.
Period.
Yeah, Madam DPO.
Okay, Madam DPO.
Salute you.
I salute you for real.
Let's see. Was there a moment you felt especially proud of the team or the impact of the podcast? We might have talked to this a little bit.
I would say when we got into our like posting every single day bag, that was a proud moment because definitely when we think like when we first started, like the capacity, like who would have thought? Like,
Yeah.
for real, because
Rodney, executive producer.
I'm being
she's
honest.
busy. She does a lot.
She does a lot.
I'm
We preach
being
vulnerability, authenticity. She's being honest.
Yeah.
honest. Thank you.
Speak it. But no, because like even like the 2 that because we were posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and even that was a struggle sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you would have told us that like at the beginning of the year we would be doing this like Monday through Friday, honestly, like I would have been like, okay,
She said, I'm not doing it.
I don't know, I'll give
Sure.
you the password. I will give you the login. Y'all got it. But just being able to like be consistent with that aspect, because that was a goal that we set for ourselves, and being able to like through definitely like Jennifer. Shout out
Yeah.
to Jennifer.
She sent us
Because-
text 6 a.m.
Literally, it'll be 6 o'clock in the morning. Boom, group chat.
Here's the video,
Video.
for today.
I'm like, girl,
wow.
she doesn't rest.
No.
Well, she does.
But she does.
She does rest. But being able to be consistent and seeing just how we all worked together as well to achieve that has been a moment that like I was really proud of.
Yeah.
Or just looking back at it, it's just really proud of us being able to achieve that, because then it has led to growth
Yeah.
as well.
Big time.
And so, like getting the captions, doing everything that we needed to do on time,
Yeah,
that was definitely a proud moment.
it's true.
Yeah. For sure. I agree. Even the consistency. I think one thing that people have told me was like, "Oh, you guys are consistent,"
Hallelujah.
and I'm like,
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wow.
Very
"Thank you, Jesus." I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus," because
Yeah.
when I feel like we low key have always been consistent in regards to like when I think did we start on like Mondays or whatever, and then we switched
Yeah.
to like posting on every other Friday.
I want to say we started on either
Was
Monday
it
or
Wednesdays?
Wednesday.
Maybe
For
it was
some reason,
Wednesdays.
Wednesday is like coming to me.
It probably was
Right.
Wednesdays.
I want to say we started Wednesdays, and then maybe like the first episode we switched to Fridays.
The Fridays.
Which makes more sense. Like
Yeah, it does.
the middle of the
Okay.
week was kind of just random.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Ooh.
you live and you learn.
Truly. And I think maybe this is more on the back end as well. I think we have been consistent in regards to every other Friday, from what I can remember. But the workflow now is chef's kiss. In the beginning, season 1, Maddie and I would shoot episodes 2 a.m. and that joint is out at 10 a.m.
Never again.
That's crazy.
And shout out to God for the grace
Oh.
and the capacity that we had back then, but it's like that doesn't need to
It
happen.
wasn't sustainable.
It's not
No.
sustainable.
No.
And what we have going on right now is sustainable, and I'm super grateful because yes, from the outside it's like, oh yeah, like you guys are consistent. But what I see is, yes, we are, but on the back end, like things are actually moving smoothly. Like we're not stressed
Yeah.
anymore the way we used to be
Oh,
stressed. And that is what I'm proud of, for real. Like we have pulled it together on the back end, and that makes things on the front end easier. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Thank God for being done at 5 p.m. and not 3 a.m.
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
I do not know how y'all did that, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about grease.
Two, 3 a.m. Then I have to still drive back home. Yeah.
Right. Oh, an hour.
Now,
An
yep.
hour. And she had work
Oh yeah.
because she was not
right,
working.
you weren't
she,
working.
Yeah.
I was
my
working in
goodness.
office.
Yeah.
That's right. The weeks I
Dang.
would.
Mm-hmm.
The grace.
Truly.
Hallelujah.
Truly.
Salvation and glory.
Okay, a few more questions. How has being part of the podcast impacted you personally or spiritually in 2024?
Oh man, you can't rush this.
No,
No,
you can't. It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. I'm even thinking of myself.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I think watching you, it's made me learn to trust more.
Oh.
Because sometimes, Belinda, you come up with ideas and you're like, I don't know how it's going to get done. And then I, like, as someone who walks alongside you, watch it be done. And I'm like, oh, wow. So all I have to do is trust. All I have to do is believe? Who would have thought?
That's speaking to me right now because I didn't think I was stressing.
No, because like, for real, think about the amount of, like, whether it's the guests or events or things where you've been like, how's it going to happen? Right? And whether it's people donating, whether it's like people show up and it's like, who's doing that? The Lord, right? And so like that has spoken to me to be like, I need to be trusting more in my life. Like I'm seeing it happen, right? So yeah, I would say like that's what I've learned.
That's really good. Yeah. That's good.
Dang. I guess along the same lines, for me, it's. Well, thank you for saying that. Like, you see that the trust, because sometimes I look at my like personal walk and I'm like, dang, I don't trust God. Like, I need to trust Him more, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's different from how others like see you. But I think along the same lines, God shows up, point blank, period, because the amount of things and opportunities and people that God has like brought into my life this year, to help with this vision that he's given us, it's like, okay, even within like the last month alone, bro,
Oh,
like
for sure.
what?
For sure.
Hello.
Yeah.
And it's truly a testament to just be obedient. Do what God said to do. And even if it looks impossible, like he's going to do it. It might take some 1-2, back and forth. But like truly, like just trust him. And I think that's something that I am continuously like reminding myself. Like he's shown up before, girl. He'll do it again. Bigger and better. But yeah, that's what No Rose and Bloom has taught me this year, specifically.
Yeah. Oh man, this is hard.
It's okay.
There's
You
so
don't
much
have
to
to answer.
say. I feel like I have to, man.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This
speak
place,
on it.
this being on here has blessed us. Like, and it's hard not to say anything. I feel like being in A Rose and Bloom really helped with, because I'm as a creative, very prone to self-condemnation, perfectionism, being very hard on myself when I fall short, and being here and able to serve and submit to this vision that God gave Belinda also impacted me I think in an indirect way. She doesn't think about it, but like a lot of freedom has come for me and able to have a confidence and to like make mistakes and also keep going. And not only because of like our experiences here, but also because of like walking with them along the way. It's like knowing that I will never walk alone. Too, like, like, and I got to affirm that in her, but I'm like, it's also being affirmed back in me in a way. And so, yeah, there's a lot of freedom that I'm like, oh, I can create and be okay. Like for my own thing. Or Belinda's getting like so much favor. Like favor can also come my way.
Amen.
So it's like proof, like you're saying, like you see her able to trust. I'm like, oh, I can do that, right? Like I could walk and do things that don't make sense or seem impossible and be okay. We'll wrestle, but we'll be okay. So yeah, there's also meeting so many great people.
Yeah, man.
Like
man.
and Belle has a gift of talking to people and connecting, right? I don't think I'm one of those people. I'm friendly, but not to the capacity this girl like reaches out and so like I also got to meet a lot of great people too.
Yeah.
And so like yeah, just like just doors open. It just opens here in this place. So that's also a blessing too. Yeah.
Definitely being able to meet people, that piece. It's been something that has helped me in my like just faith walk and just journey as well. Just because I would say that I probably didn't really get to know a lot about like just Christians in like media space, like just in general, like. And then having like Myra, Zipporah, Raquel, like literally every single guest that we've had, being able to be blessed by the things that they have said has helped me in my walk and just helped me to really grow and still helping me to grow into like the woman that God has called me to be. I would say that this came, or at least my like working with A Rose and Bloom came at like a really necessary time for me, just because like again I've been forced to grow up, like you know what I'm saying, like I'm really now needing to like walk and take life seriously, because life is real.
Especially after graduating. After graduation.
Life is real, especially when you're in a new environment, a new space, you're doing new things. Again, which all kind of goes back to like what I had mentioned at the beginning with like just presence of fear doesn't mean the absence of your gift and everything. I think that this podcast has helped me at a necessary time, just because God knew what was coming up, like all the things that I'll be introduced to, and all the different things that like I would be exposed to just by like moving out and living in a whole new area, and certain things that like you can forget that are reminders through this podcast. Just like you had mentioned also just about trusting God and how it sounds so simple, like just trusting God, but like that trust piece is like a lot more than you might just a lot more work that goes into it. So I just feel like A Rose in Bloom has blessed my spiritual walk in ways that probably when I first said yes, like I'll help you, I really didn't think that, oh, like this is what's gonna come out of it. I thought I would just be putting out the content and that's it. But like it has definitely been two ways. It's not just me helping this podcast, but it has also helped me and still helping me, and just being able again to learn from literally all of y'all. It's just been a blessing.
That's the goal, girl. That's the girl.
Learn about God through y'all, because I think we also need to remember, like everything that we do is to reflect and give glory and honor to God. And He's given y'all stories. He's given our guests stories, and all of it again just reflects back to Him. And so He's definitely shown me more of Him through the episodes and through the people that we've had.
Yeah,
Love it.
for sure. Okay, I'm gonna pick out like 2 more questions before we like close officially. What are y'all most excited about for the future of A Rose in Bloom?
I feel like I answered first last time, so I'm not going to answer first again.
But if you have an answer, go ahead.
I don't know if it would be somehow to say, but being
I was like, what is she about to say?
One way of being like,
that's what I'm
You
looking
man.
forward to.
Yes.
Financial security.
Okay.
Amen.
Because
and
it's coming.
It's coming in
Coming.
Jesus' name. If you're interested in sponsoring,
Yes. Sponsor
our
us.
Gmail, our email is in the bio. We can talk.
You and Mo.
Yeah, come on, wait, come on.
22
But definitely, and I think that would also just help us to achieve the different visions and goals that we have in mind
Yeah,
for the
for sure.
podcast,
For sure.
and not have to worry about like, I mean, still, I'm sure people like you worry about finances. No matter how much money you have, you want more. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
But definitely being able to be like, you know what, like we want to do this, and we are able to do it like financially.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to, just getting to that place.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get paid. Like,
Okay.
we trying to get paid. Look, trying to put everybody up.
It's for the ministries, for the ministry.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yes.
For the ministry.
It is
Listen,
for
the
the
gospel
ministry.
is free, but the operation is not.
Yes.
Oh.
Our life ministry. Yeah.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
I like that one.
So,
That's a good one.
yeah.
I just growing overall. Like
Yeah, I feel the same.
I look forward to our teams growing. Right? Like
That's gonna blow my mind.
more help. Like
Yeah.
more people just getting on board to just make Rose and Bloom what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like I really look forward to that. And I also look forward to just being surprised by like I think like this year we've been surprised by the amount of people that are able to contribute, that are want to give their time and energy, and
Yeah.
I'm expecting of that like Belle we be geeking about this, but like we need pass out kits and crying kits and somebody to make sure they know how to handle each and every one of us, because we're about to be so blown away
Yeah.
that it's gonna be like it's gonna be emotionally overwhelming, right? Like I imagine people coming like, I want to give you this amount just because, and that,
Hey.
that happened.
Amen.
That happened already, and
Oh, I
and,
mean, yeah.
and it was big for us.
I was like, who's awake?
Exactly. yes. And so, like, I expect more of that,
Glory to
and I
God.
look forward to
Yes.
being shocked like
Amen.
that. Yeah, I look forward to mine being blown. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm excited about all the things we have cooking behind the scenes. Some things
Fair.
can't be named yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
19.
But yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of those things, like just bringing them to life and like watching them continue to impact the people that we serve and minister to. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, honestly, everything that everybody else has said, the growing impact, what we're doing behind the scenes, I think 18-year-old Belinda could have never imagined that this is what God was calling her to do. And we're only in season 3, and it's still like truly just the beginning. And so I sit here and I'm like, okay, well, God, if this is all you want me to do, I'm good. But it's just knowing that it's going to get bigger and better in Jesus' name, because the vision isn't finished yet. It's like, man, yeah. It's blowing my mind even now. Maddie, we were talking about the teams going. That means it's more people to manage.
Okay.
That means, and I'm like, okay, effective leadership. How is this going to, right? Like, that's what I'm thinking. But truly, it feels like all in day's work, and I'm just grateful to be here. I feel like I've been saying a lot recently, a testament to what happens and what obedience looks like, right? Because if God did not tell me to do this, I would not be doing it. But I stayed obedient, and will continue to be. Okay, one last question before I go into like a reflection question. What's a fun or unexpected fact about working on A Rose in Bloom that the audience might not know? I can start. We go to church with everybody. Okay, everybody from guests to except Mo. Mo is like, what is it? Honorary Grace member.
Yeah, by proxy.
By proxy. But like everybody that you've seen for the most part, except like Sade, Myra, Dorian and Morgan. Is there anybody else I'm missing?
I think
Niera.
Oh, Nira.
Yeah, they go with Grace. Pretty much.
Everybody else
goes
goes
with
to
Grace.
Grace.
Mostly.
I didn't even think about that.
It's like half of our guests.
I know. I just think it's so funny, but also a testament to what happens when God places you somewhere, like specifically. So yeah, I think that's my fun fact. Like, I see a majority of these people weekly, except Mo. But yeah, like we said, proxy. She's an honorary member.
Fun facts.
I think that's my fun fact.
4:44 p.m.
Oh, thank you, sister.
You said
Ask
hurry
me to
up.
talk.
No, she said, rap. It's a recap. Oh gosh, this was hard.
It's like, I don't think I have one.
Me neither.
No fun or unexpected fact.
Unexpected? We drive an hour to get here to the studio?
I don't, but
She don't. It's a long. This is a commitment.
Okay, it is.
Honestly, I think people will be shocked by the setup. Like if they kind of see behind the scenes, but most of the time our guests, like when they come in, they're like, "Oh, this is serious. You got lights, cameras, and a whole monitor with switching
true.
like." Or even explain to people that like my parents, right? They're like, "Oh, you're doing recording, cool," but I'm like, if you guys come and see the way we flow, I think people are also surprised by the professionalism.
Yeah.
Too, like we really we're trying to run a network.
Okay.
Versus just a podcast recording. So, yeah, I don't think I really have a fun fact, but I think people would be like surprised by this.
Yeah, that's fun.
Outside people, right? Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
It's okay. We can go into a reflection.
Yeah.
Small. If you could leave the audience with one piece of encouragement or wisdom from this past year, what would it be?
You want to go first?
Sure. Okay. I don't know. This past season, we've talked about like creatives, and I feel like there's definitely been emphasis on like the physical creation, like whether it's like, I don't know, you're a content creator, you're into photography, fashion, whatever that case may be. But I also think about like people who are like, they've been watching the entire season. They don't think that they have creativity, or they don't think that they're, what's the word? They don't think that, that this is how they manifest God's creation or God's creativity through them by I don't know, singing or stuff like that. But one thing that I also think that, and I feel like you mentioned it a little bit in your episode where you talk about how God is the ultimate creator. And I feel like we don't even need to look far besides ourselves. Like, because
Come
one
on,
thing I've
Mo.
really like learned this past semester, our body is like,
Bro,
it's crazy. Like, glory be to God
Yeah.
for real.
that we are here.
Yeah.
And the amount of things that are working within us, it's hard for me to be like, my existence is just accidental. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why not only like all the factors that brought me here, like from conception and whatever, pregnancy, delivery, and then also keeping me here, it's like, it's not an energy expenditure that's wasted. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be a reason, a purpose. So I feel like for those who have been like watching the entire season, you're just like, creativity, I consume it, I look at it, but like also think about yourself as a creative or as a creation, basically. And God being, again, he's the ultimate creator and we are his ultimate creation. Like, definitely, I guess, leave that to our audience is reflect on just, I'm kept here. God has kept me here for a reason. He has kept my body. He has kept me, my existence. And so there's a reason why I'm here. And really being able to like go to God and figure out that purpose as to why. And then I also feel like don't be afraid to try and fail. Because I feel like that's one thing that we've learned through all of our guests is that they all tried something and they pivoted. Like, I want to say Jennifer, didn't she like do nursing or something before?
There's a farm tech.
Pharmacy. And she's now like UI and UX designer. They all tried something, and whether or not they stuck with it. But like, even with us, our podcast, like we tried the first episode and we came back. So definitely being able to be comfortable with failing at things is something that I want to say that this season has taught me, and pray it teaches you as well. In that, don't be afraid to try and fail, in order to find your purpose, and figure out what God wants you to do with your life. Because again, he's kept you for a reason. There's a lot that's working within you that's keeping you here, and it's not energy that's wasted. So your existence matters.
Doctor. That's good, girl. That's real good.
Yeah, let's look at it.
That was
Yeah.
yo.
Like,
Yo.
Listen, in 4 years, I will come back out to this podcast and we could talk more about like just
That would be so cool.
body.
No,
When I
because
got the initials, the letters next to my name,
I was
I got the
pronounced just opinion.
credentials. So
Nothing. No.
this is my license. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
'cause we need to talk about it.
Yeah, that'd be for you, man. That'd be for you. Yeah, so I'll go with what Mo is, like I'll add, because she said knowing that God will keep you, but also learning how God keeps you is really important. Because to know is one thing, but like to walk and actually like see it and witness it and not stop walking is such an important part of like this Jesus life. And it's true because it goes simple even to the fact that we can't make our own selves breathe.
Right.
Right. We can't, like someone has to resuscitate when somebody dies or passes out, but that's how God is like keeping you. Simply as that. And so it's very much like, even though it may not make sense or you're in an emotional rut or you just don't see, it's okay to just keep going. And it's okay to keep going. Or even if you have to stop, that's also okay. Like, don't be afraid to, I think, taking time to be honest with yourself, but also getting up and keep going is another part. So, because I think even by force, it happens. I think Maura and Dorian's episode where they were talking about how their podcast, like, it stopped because of their relationship dynamic, and then they came back on, and but they came back wiser, they came back stronger, new understanding, and like it elevated their podcast.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the coolest cycle and the grace of what God does in our lifetimes when we just walk with Him, and He will run after you regardless anyway. He'll run after you. He'll run after you regardless anyway. So I think that's pretty cool. He doesn't stop chasing after you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
My piece of encouragement or wisdom is that God is faithful to complete the work that He's told you to do. So just be obedient. It can be hard. I know there are many times that I have cried, whether to myself or to one of these lovely ladies on the couch. I'm like, I'm done with this. But God shows me time and time and again that His hands are on the things that He's told me to do. And so I just have to be faithful and know that He is faithful to complete it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like mine kind of goes along with yours. I think something I've seen in all of our guests is their ability to surrender, like no matter how hard it's been, but like in them doing that, like where God has taken them, and that goes along with that obedience piece. Like there's no other option, really.
Yeah, literally,
like
where else can I go?
yeah, truly, where else can I go? And so it's just like start there, and you don't have to know the end. It's just like start there, surrender, and then it'll all fall into place. Yeah.
That's a good God. God is too good.
Tears.
For real. But yeah, that's our year-end review. Thank you all so much for watching and being part of this community this year. We're so excited for all that's to come. Remember to leave a review on Spotify, Apple, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. And then, should I do it now?
Yeah.
Should we make the announcement now?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to do my tagline. Well, okay.
Just let the people know.
Let the
This
people
is
know. It's time.
They want to know.
It's time. It's time.
So yeah, we are gonna have our first live podcast show coming up here in February, and so stay tuned for more information on that. So excited to finally see some of y'all in person, and you're gonna get more of us, more guests sharing their stories and being unashamed in doing that, talking about maybe a faithfulness in navigating singleness, dating, marriage, all the things, right? So more information on that to come, and super excited to meet some of y'all in person. But yeah, like I said, stay tuned and have a great Christmas.
Yes. Enjoy your Christmas,
your
holidays,
holidays.
Happy New Year.
Yes, all the
that.
things. And until next time, continue blooming so the roses God called you to be.